Here is what a $100,000 job looks like, and I'm going to break it down for you until the end to tell you how we made a 17% profit margin on this job. And here's the proof. So you see on the left is all the materials we purchased, and the middle column is all the labor with overhead calculated. This is one of the most important things a lot of guys aren't doing. And then at the bottom you see $100,000 job, $17,000 profit. That is pretty decent. Now, I know some of you smart Alex are saying 17%. I wouldn't wake up out of bed for that. How do you even live with yourself, T, right? Well, here's the thing, bucko. Most of you are tracking your expenses, but you're not calculating your overhead correctly. And that's why it seems like you're making a lot more money than you are. But when you look in your bank account, you're like, bro, where's my 40%? I thought I made 40 grand on that job. I only have like $10,000. Where's my money at? Exactly. That's why you have to build the right system and process to make sure you're tracking all of your overhead correctly to find out how much money you're making, because the national average for landscaping is 3%. That's right, 3%. So if you can do 10, 12, 15, 17 is a home run. A 20 is like, wow. Sometimes I've hit 30%, but that is like really, really out there. Super lucky, bid it right, no mistakes happened, the guys did fast work, and we still crushed it. To figure this out yourself, hit the link below, come to the workshop. I'll show you exactly what we're doing in the business that works, how much money we're making in each job, and what are the systems and processes we have to make my life easier, because that's all that matters. If my life is more difficult when I hire more people, then that's a bad hire. But if my life gets easier, woohoo! Just like buying equipment. You see that Caterpillar right there? That was $60,000. That thing is supposed to make your life easier. The semi-trucks, the little ditch witches, that bucket, all these items that you purchase are there to make the entire existence of your employees and your life much easier. Imagine doing this trench by hand. The reason we got this job actually was because the homeowner had a problem with his sewer. So he came out, and the plumber gave him a proposal. He stuck a camera inside his sewer line and said, bro, your sewer line is messed up. This thing is clay. It has got to go. So he said, can you give me a price? And he said, no problem. I'll give you a price, but we have to rip apart your whole driveway. If we're doing that, might as well get new landscaping. And he's like, oh, you're right. I should get new landscaping. So he said, who do you know? I know a guy, T will come. So I pulled up to the house. I got a referral from the plumber that I always use. His name is Lalo. And the plumber said, this is your guy. I gave the homeowner a price for $100,000, and he said, deal. Can you make me a design? This is the design. Very simple, very basic, but very elegant. Nice driveway, nice steppers walking up, and a retaining wall protecting his lawn area from dogs pissing on it, and a little patio to hang out in. Simple. My favorite projects ever are driveways. Love driveways. Access is simple, easy to get materials in, easy to get the square footage. You cannot mess the levels up. The level is from the garage to the sidewalk. Like, how do you mess that up? You can't. And then you just get the dirt out. You don't have to mess with the neighbor's fence. You don't have to mess with the neighbor's backyard. Everything in the front. And these projects right here have a very high conversion rate for other homeowners walking by, other neighbors. They're coming by, they're seeing, oh wow, these guys are doing great work. They have nice equipment. Job site is clean. The trailer's nice. They're hosing down the dirt to not make any dust. They got semi-trucks pulling up and not little dump trailers, 5x8 dump trailers. These guys are legit. Look at all the equipment. That's when you get more leads. And I've gotten jobs like that many, many times. People are just strolling by, going for their afternoon walk. And sometimes we're not even there. But, you know, people are nosy. They'll come up and they'll look around and they'll say, what are these guys doing? Oh, maybe a driveway, some plants. And if the finished product is very, very good, they will take a picture of your trailer. They'll remember your business name. This is why it's good to have a very catchy business name like Applewood Landscaping and not Jose's Gardening and Maintenance Services, LLC. Not good. Get a better name, get better branding, get a nice logo, invest, and boom, you'll get a lot of work. Most importantly, hire the right people, guys. Like, it is very, very difficult to grow a company when you have the wrong people, wrong equipment. Okay, everyone knows get good equipment. But at the same time, sometimes I drive by job sites and I'm like, bro, why does this guy even have this trailer? This trailer is like $2,000. It is really in bad condition. And some of the guys, they might not have all the matching shirts. They might not have all nice hats. Like, you have to get your guys hoodies, hats. Throw money down. It's fine. It's not a big deal. That one shirt a guy could wear to Home Depot, a customer's walking by, and boom, you close $100,000 deal because of that one of your guys wearing a shirt. That is a great offer for marketing. I know some of you hate on my Cybertruck. You're like, that's not a man's truck. You should get an F-350. Boy, I had an F-350. It was a fantastic, limited, $110,000 truck. It was Cowboys Cadillac. That's what a guy told me one time. And it was the real deal. Now, what has got me more work? The Cyber or a Cowboys Cadillac? Cowboys Cadillac was great, no doubt. It got a lot of respect from everyone else in the truck world because they're like, dude, this is the nicest truck ever. Or people would hate on me anyway because they're like, well, you're an idiot. Why would you buy a $110,000 truck? That's what people said in the comments when I first posted about it. So no matter what, they're going to hate on you. Might as well do what you want to do and get the project you want to get by getting the right equipment. That's what I did. Now imagine you're a homeowner that lives a block down and you drive by this house when it's all finished and you're like, man, that looks great. And I'm telling you right now, a nice landscape in the front yard, a lot of you won't agree with me. You'd be like, no, the curb appeal, you won't get your money back. Dude, this homeowner spent $100,000 and I promise you, his property value went up by at least $250,000 because he has a nice front yard. No joke. When people are looking to buy your house and you actually invested some money into the front yard, you're going to get your money back guaranteed. It looks nice. It is nice. That's how it always goes. If it looks like you're doing something right, you probably are. If the house looks good from the outside, it's going to be good from the inside. Even though it might be a little dated, but it looks good and people will try to pull up on your house and give you some good offers. And if you're struggling to convince a customer to sell a job like this, like $100,000, I know some of you live in a house that's $50,000. Okay, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying like you're doing $1.5 million, $2 million house, and $100,000 for a homeowner is not much money, especially when they're living in a couple $1 million home. Now, this house was probably $3.5 million. So for him to spend $100,000 in his front yard is nothing. Don't even blink an eye at that. It's fine. When I originally told the homeowner how much it's going to cost, he said, dude, I kind of just want to visualize it. What is it going to look like? So I said, we need to get you a design, and it's going to be very simple. It's not going to be difficult. Taylor pulled up to the homeowner and said, hey, I can do a design. It's going to be very simple, $2,500. I'll have all the dimensions laid out, all the materials, all the plants. And the homeowner's like, let's do it, bro. I'm down. So Taylor made something very quick. It took him about maybe 2 days, 3 days max. Put it together, sent it to the homeowner, and explained to them the finishes. Like, you're going to have a concrete wall that's poured in place. You're going to have very nice pavers in the driveway, very nice pavers on your little porch, an elevated lawn area, some rocks, plants, olive trees, lights. You're going to be the talk of the town, especially when people are walking by your neighborhood. They're going to be like, man, what a nice looking house. I love this design. I want something like this for my place. And that right there is how you're going to sell and close more deals. I give the best advice in the history of landscapers, period. Most of you don't have a money problem. Most of you don't have an employee problem. Most of you have a problem where people don't know a business you offer because you don't market it. You don't make videos. You don't make Instagrams. All you do is depend on word of mouth. Word of mouth is great. It has a very high conversion rate. If one guy spent $100,000 with you and he had a really good experience and he tells his friend, that guy will most likely hire you, even if you're $5,000, $8,000, $7,000, $10,000 higher than the other guys, just because it is almost a guarantee that you're going to deliver on the job because his best friend got landscaping done from you. But what you're going to want to do is do the word of mouth plus do the ads, plus do the marketing, plus Instagram, plus YouTube. You want to be everywhere, and you never know. A customer might find you on TikTok, or even better, some kid watching a TikTok video and sees that you do landscaping, and you're like, wow, this is cool. My dad was talking about getting landscaping done. I'm going to tell my dad, I'm going to send him this video. And then boom, the guy's going to call you, and you just got a lead organically from TikTok of all places. And if you guys pay attention, you see that little plastic we got on the pavers? That is to make your life easier in the long run, because, I mean, I sound like a broken wheel. I know some of the true fans, they're like, T, you always say that. You always say that. How many times are you going to say that? Bro, most of you guys do not do this. And that's what separates a lot of people from us, Applewood. Now, this whole thing is covered in plastic because these pavers are white. Even if these pavers were black, it's still easier to cover in plastic, because this job we did in December, November, January, and it was very muddy. A lot of clouds action. You see the clouds in the time lapse. They're coming in, coming out, storms, a little bit of drizzle here and there, but the plastic prevents any staining. Why would you want to go and walk all over the pavers with your muddy boots and get dirt all over them, and then afterwards have to come in and pressure wash and spend all this time cleaning the pavers, where you could just buy literally a $5 piece of plastic and lay it down and just leave it there, and then done. Afterwards, the guys are doing polymeric sand, they're sweeping, no cleanup, very little, and then getting it wet and leaving it. And then they leave, go home, and we're gonna come back the next morning and lay some plastic down so we can work again. So simple. And there's a method to the madness. You have to be able to do things before. So the pavers, concrete was done before. Obviously, you see the blue plastic tarp. The reason we did that is because we had really, really big rainstorm coming, and I didn't want to have the guys not work after the rain. Let's say it's going to rain Tuesday and Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday would be a no work day if we didn't lay down that tarp. But because we did lay down the tarp, all they have to do is come in, take the tarp off, make sure the water goes to the street, and boom, the dirt is a little wet, but not soaked where it's mud. And that's what you're looking for. It saves you time. And remember, the guys need to work during the winter. I know that production and productivity goes down significantly because it's colder, it's wet, it's rainy, but this is some of the things you have to account for when you're running a business, because I would rather have the guys work in the winter slowly and make a living, rather than me saying, all right, boys, pack it up, I'll see you in April. That's not ideal. That's not good morals. That's not good ethics, because then what happens if they go find another job with, like, they work for you? This is what happened, actually. These two guys, they work for me right now. They're working for this dude, and the guy was like, yo, I don't have any work in the winter. So they left, they found me, and they have not gone back to the other company since November, which is great. And that's what's going to happen to you if you don't stay committed and go full force on finding work and making sure your guys are busy throughout the entire year. And when your guys are taken care of and they know that you got their back, they will do things to help you. Like you saw, 17% profit on this job, 100 grand. I mean, obviously they're going to see this video, and a lot of you are like, well, how are you going to explain to them? Well, dude, it's a business. Like, the business has to make money. You realize that, right? If you lose money on every single job, no one's going to have a job. The point of the company is to make money. The only reason Apple sells iPhones is to rack money, make a bunch of money. Same with you. You have to be comfortable with being an open book. Like, what do you want? You want to make no money and have all your guys feel like they're working for a company that's failing? No, not a good idea. Come to a workshop, see everything in person. I'll take you to all these job sites and you'll see how it's done. End of the project. Now I'm going to walk you around to show you exactly what we did. This was a very simple one. This is the design right here. This is the one that Taylor made. It's very nice, very beautiful. And the whole point of this whole thing was to keep everything simple and, most importantly, just usable, because he doesn't really have a backyard at all. So he wanted a grass area for the kids to play around in. That's what we have here. So come on, I'm gonna take you through. One of the challenges that we had, very small, is we needed to make this area level because he wanted to hang out on his patio here and for his kids to play. So we had to put in a little retaining wall here. This retaining wall was not cheap. It was like $7,000. This was a poured in place concrete retaining wall. I know a lot of you guys are doing blocks and stucco. I hate blocks and stucco. The best is poured in place concrete. It looks badass. Zero maintenance. When I say zero, I mean zero. No maintenance at all. It's not gonna fail. It's not gonna crack. Stucco is not gonna chip. You can throw rocks at it. Literally doesn't matter. Super strong, super badass. And it's a thick boy too. It's a 12-incher. Girlfriend loves 12-inchers. These are Teco block pavers that we purchased with onyx black, which are very nice. And these are actually sealed as well. One of the cool things is the homeowner wanted La Paz. He actually knew about La Paz, and Taylor spec'd them, and the homeowner said, let's do it. I charged them $6,000 for just these rocks. And then these lights were very nice as well. Not FX, not Inlight, just something basic, but good quality, like 60, 70 bucks a piece. And then the reason for the whole thing was the grass. So the grass is done. Now everything is good. It's very level. The kiddos can play and they can enjoy it. And we obviously installed a drainage system in here. The drainage system goes out there and then everything pops out right here. All the water comes in there. And this downspout also flows directly to the street, which is good. We want to keep all the water away, put it straight to the street. Olive tree. Let's talk about this freaking olive tree. This is a $4,000 tree. For me to purchase this tree was $2,000 from the nursery with my discount. It was like $2,200, something like that. Fantastic tree. This is a fruitless olive, and I know a lot of you are like, well, I can get this tree for $400 where I live. No, you can't. It's impossible. This is a fruitless olive, a true fruitless olive, not a non-fruiting olive tree. Those non-fruiting ones still have a few olives. This one is guaranteed to have 0 olives. No olives at all. And it's very nice. It's got a light. It looks sick. I wish we could have done more of them, but he didn't want to drop $8,000 in trees, which I understand. But this is the creme de la creme, boys. The creme de la creme. Driveway's nice. Everything, I mean, the curb appeal, he spent $100,000 on his house, but I guarantee you his property value went up $200,000. A minimum $200,000. Minimum. People driving by, they're like, wow, what a nice front yard. Let me show you the backyard. The backyard is not really done, or it wasn't done by us. And I think he bought the house like this. But, see, this is a different landscaper, and it's not the same vibe. It's not the same vibe at all.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
They half-assed it. Look, they didn't put a drainage system. The water just dumps right here. And this tile, a lot of maintenance with this tile. The artificial turf is fake as hell. And then they did what I hate. They did stucco with concrete blocks. Can't stand that. It's very, I don't want to match the house. I want something totally different. Look at the stoop. The stoop is made out of like some kind of wood. I don't know. I'm not talking smack, but not my style. That is super clean, very modern, matches the home, and most importantly, is very functional. The aesthetic is what we want. And with Teco block, the aesthetic is what you get. So that's it. Drop in comments if you like the job, if you hate the job. Drop in comments if you like me or hate me. Either way, it's okay. Sometimes I feel the same as you do. Later.